garage. I'm really glad you're here. A place where we can laugh and talk and days are filled with cheer. The clouds and sun may come and go, but one thing's always clear. Welcome back, my friend. You know I'm really glad you're here. Yeah.
Hey, happy Monday night, my friends. It's August the 19th in the year 2024. Live stream number 173. I can't believe we're back here again and that it's Monday already. Sometimes I get my days just mixed up. They go so fast. And boy, it's been a busy week. You know, if you've been following the channel, I probably got 3 videos out last week. Just kind of been cranking them out and having fun with that, fixing up that trailer. So lots of things are going on. Thanks for being here tonight. If you've not yet been to one of these live streams, if it's your first time here, what we do is we just talk about the channel, really talk about projects that I'm working on, and we do little Q&A in the live chat here. So that's how that works. But if it is your first time here, please say hi. Go to that live chat section, whether you're on Instagram or Facebook. Well, Facebook or YouTube, I guess you can make your comments. But let us know that you're here. Post in the live chat on YouTube or Facebook, but also how you ended up at the channel. Was it YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok? Which, by the way, I am live streaming to YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram right now. You can catch this show on all 3 platforms at the same time. So TikTok doesn't have that ability that I am aware of to stream from one single application, but that's what we're doing here. So if you're over on Instagram, welcome. Do know if you're on Instagram that when we do the sticker giveaway a little bit later on today, I don't think that it'll work off of Instagram. I think you have to be on YouTube or Facebook in order to participate in that, because it has to do with the live chat thing. Anyway, but we're just kind of growing that Instagram following. So thanks for being here again. Pretty much every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Should be here next week. Now, next week, you know, I'm involved with this Delaware Valley Bluegrass Festival, which I have invited you all to attend. I don't think anybody's taken me up on it, but the Delaware Valley Bluegrass Festival, if you look it up, you'll find it. And it's you know, if you're not too far away, it's worth the trip. It's worth the cost. You can get a day pass for Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, or you can get a weekend pass for all 3 days. If you get a weekend pass, you can camp on the grounds all weekend long, included with your price of admission. So you can bring your camper, you can pitch a tent. It's a good time. And if you're a musician, a lot of people jamming around the campground and having a good time. Anyway, that's my point of saying that is that next Monday, I'll be out there working. We kind of set the festival up. I'm part of the fence crew. We put the fences up around, and I should be done in time to be here for a live stream. So I should have a live stream next Monday. But you know, if things get backed up, look for a message. I might have to put one out if I can't do that. But meanwhile, we're here now, and of course, I always ask you to hit the thumbs up button if you're here, because we like that, right? And as far as tonight's show, well, we're just going to free roll tonight. I'm counting on you to have questions and comments in the live chat. So if you do have a question or a comment, mostly if you have a question, post it this way in the live chat with the word question followed by your question, and then I'll see it. More likely. I'll just put that up to remind you. Got questions? Ask in the live chat. So what's going on here, folks, in the live chat? Let's take a look all the way back to the top, where the Rusty Garage and Homestead was the first to comment this evening before the show even started. So welcome. If you're here now, you were here earlier. And Kevin is here. Good to see you, Kevin, and Mikey. And look at our friend Chris from the Watershed Overlook. Greetings from the land of kilts and bagpipes. Midnight Chris, that means it's tomorrow where you are. We're here today and you're there tomorrow. Yeah, it must be Tuesday after midnight. It must be Tuesday morning where Chris is. I'm looking at my phone because Chris sent me a picture. So now we can see exactly where Chris is. There he is in the land of kilts and bagpipes. Looking good, my friend. Looking good. So, Chris is watching us from the future. That reminds me of something. By the way, if you're new to the live stream, this is what I do. I just chat and I go off on a tangent. If something comes into my mind, it just comes out. That's how it works. So thinking about Chris being over in Scotland, and it's Tuesday where he is. Uh, Bob Newhart died a few weeks ago. One of my most favorite entertainers, and I was reading about Bob Newhart, and one of the funniest stories I saw. He was a storyteller. He told a story about how NASA sent um, a person, a regular citizen, I think they chose. They sent them to Mars to kind of experiment and see what's on Mars. So they went to Mars, and when the person got back from Mars, they interviewed him about the experience, and he said there is life on Mars, and they said, would you say that they are advanced? And he said, yes, they are. And they said, well, how far advanced do you think they are from us? And he said, I would say about 2 weeks. That's just funny to think that, we always think about this advanced life form. He's like, oh, it's about 2 weeks in advance. Anyway, Chris is watching from the future, and that is always fun and mind-boggling to me. Anyway, Chevhead Ed is here, as well as our friend Ross from the land of Rossland, Ross on the land. Of course, if we remember that Ross was in Scotland last year and put his sticker on a pole or something, and then Chris was there like a week after Ross and found the same spot. What are the chances of that? How could that happen? Amazing. Bob Pers, good to see you, and David from RCAF Polar Express, and our good friend Brutal Bob is in the house. So thank you all for being here tonight. All right, I'm going to just look through some comments and we'll see. Yeah, the weather's been rough everywhere. So if any of you were affected by that, I am sorry for that. We've gotten tremendous rain here, but it's not been overwhelming. We've got pouring rain and then it stops for a while, then it rains some more, and it's been okay. But I know there's been flooding up in New York and everything. So there's Linda, and there's the outdoor hobby guy. And there's my off-grid adventures. Good to see you. So I'm just scrolling through comments. Rusty Ranch. Now there's a question. He posted it as QQQ, but I know it's a question. I know something. Do you wish you still had that old Chevy? I guess you are talking about the GMC that I talked about in my trailer video. And for those of you who don't know, I bought a 16-foot flatbed trailer for ultimately for hauling my tractor. Because the only other trailer I have right now is the 5x10 utility trailer, which technically will hold the tractor, but it's not long enough to hold any implements. It's a single axle trailer, so it's really not good for that. So I bought this 16-foot flatbed trailer, which ironically I bought brand new in 1987. It was a long story, but I talked about in the video that I bought the trailer in 1987. I kept it until 2010. I sold it to my brother-in-law in 2010. He's had it all this time, and now I just bought it back from him in 2024. So it hasn't gone far, but it's back. And in that video, I talked about I talked about the 1987 GMC truck that I bought when I was, 19 years old, I guess it was. Um, and that I had bought the new truck, I bought the new trailer all about the same time, and I sold the truck. So I want to, I'll show you that. I thought I had it saved here actually, but yeah, let me look at albums, favorites. There it is. There it is. So this truck right here, uh, I bought this truck brand new in 1987. GMC. It had the 350 V8 in it. They had previously been selling trucks with 305, so this year they put the 350s back in them, the 5.7 liter, and first year for fuel injected trucks for GM. 1986s were carbureted. 87 was fuel injected. So it was the first year for that. It was also the last year of the square body truck. And I loved this style. I was 19 years old. I had some money in my pocket and I ordered this truck through the dealership from the factory. I ordered it midnight blue, slate gray, or whatever gray that was, with the red pinstripe, the rally wheels, power, everything, electric windows, air conditioning, cassette player with auto reverse and sliding rear window and whatever options you could get back then, which wasn't many. But I loved this truck and I still do today. It's the coolest looking truck, I think, to me. So bought that new in 1987. Fun part of that I didn't tell the story about what happened to this truck. Uh, Bought it new in 1987, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92. I kept it for 5 years and I sold it in 1992. Could have been 93. I think it was 92, but I sold it to a high school buddy. And he happens to be a person who restores old cars. He restored them in high school. And he liked this truck and he said, if you ever want to sell it. Anyway, sold it to him, let's say 92. Sold it to him for, maybe two-thirds of what I paid for it. I paid 15,000 for it. I think I sold it to him for 9,500 or something like that. But I sold it to the best possible person to buy this truck because this truck still sits in a barn uh, a few miles away. And he drove it as a daily driver for several years, but kept it in great shape. It's in great original condition. And he still has the truck, as far as I know. Still has it. I got to drive it about 5 years ago when I stopped by one day and he had it out. So I actually got to drive it again. Anyway, there it is. Love this truck. Do I still wish I had it? That's the question. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'd love to, especially if I had a nice barn to keep it in, which we kind of do now. Um, but I'd love to have it in that new condition or the condition he has it in now. So yes, I'd like to have it. I don't know. I try not to look back. Um, I was I was talking to one of the kids the other day, our youngest, and they basically were telling me I'm pretty boring because I guess years ago they asked me like, if you had your dream car, what would your dream car be? Expecting me to say something classic, and I'm like, I think I'd like a new Jeep, a brand new Jeep. And they were like, that is so boring. Like I thought you were going to say your 87 pickup back or a 77 Trans Am. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? That is true. That's it. I would like a 1977 black Trans Am, fully restored or fully original if it's in great shape. But the Smokey and the Bandit Trans Am, that is my car. I would love to have that car. 1977 black Trans Am. That's the one. I like that car more than I like the General Lee. And the General Lee, the 69 Charger, is a cool car, and everybody likes that car. But I'd rather have the Burt Reynolds black Trans Am. So, question. See, we went through the first question, and we're 15 minutes into the show. So, questions are good because, they're filler for the time here. Question, Pats, or 3-point quick hitch. This probably comes from my latest video where I was rotary mowing the neighbor's field, and I also demonstrated using the Pat's Easy Change Quick Hitch system for hooking up that bush hog rotary mower. And I made a video about the Pat system when I first got it. The reason for the Pat system for me is that not all tractor implements are quick hitch compatible. Quick hitches they have three fixed points. The 3 point lower links, the top link, they are fixed position with a little bit of adjustment in that top hook. But for the most part, well, they're definitely a fixed width. So you have to have a tractor attachment at that fixed width, which is considered quick hitch compatible. Nowadays, I think it's standardized, but years ago, and not even too many years ago, it was not standardized. So not all equipment was quick hitch compatible, which means in my case, I have a couple of attachments that are not quick hitch compatible. Number one is that bush hog rotary mower. Now, it might be the right width, but I can't hook it to the top hook. I think you can get some kind of adapter or something that'll make that quick hitch compatible, but the way I have it set up, it's not. So it won't work with the quick hitch. So what I would do in the past is I would take off my quick hitch and just hook the bush hog to the 3 point hitch of the tractor itself, which was a beast to hook up, just a pain in the neck to hook up. So I got the Pat's system because with the Pat's system, you still have the ability to adjust your lower 3 point hitch lift arms. So by being able to adjust those, you can fit any implement that you have with that. Now, I still have to manually connect the top link, but I don't mind that at all. So, and the other thing is, I bought that flail mower a few months ago. It's a Land Pride flail mower, so it seems relatively modern, but apparently it was before they made them quick hitch standardized. So the flail mower by Land Pride is a model that's been discontinued, but it's not quick hitch compatible because it has it's narrower than the quick hitch, so I can't use it with the quick hitch. So the PAT system for that is also necessary because if I didn't have the PAT system, I would have to remove the quick hitch and again hook up directly to the 3 point on the tractor. So the PATs for me is the most universal, simplified way to hook up your attachments. Now, if if all my attachments were quick hitch compatible, I would go with the quick hitch because of those three fixed points. You back up, lift up, lock it in, you're done, other than messing with your PTO and drive shaft. But like my box blade, I could back up, hook up, super easy. So if everything was quick hitch compatible, I would say quick hitch, in all honesty. But because it's not everything is quick hitch compatible, the PATS is the perfect system for me. Now, the PATS system is not something that you put on and off like the 3 point quick hitch. You can disconnect that, set it aside, and still use your 3 point like you regularly would. The PATS system is a literal extension of your 3 point lift arms, and it stays in place on those lift arms. So you are committed to the PATS system, um, and you could remove it easy enough. Like it's not, you basically unbolt it and nothing's stopping you from doing that, but it's really not made to be taken on and off. So you're committed, but you're not committed for life. You can take it off. So I hope that answers your question. I bet it does. And then some, right? And then some. Uh Chris is a time traveler. That's right. He's coming to us from the future. What's it like in the future, Chris? What's Tuesday like for those of us who are here on Monday night at 7:20 p.m. Eastern Time? Well, I'm just going to look for some more questions or comments because if I don't, I'll just sit here and you'll be like, "What's he doing?" Uh, Here's a comment from my off Grid Adventures. And they say, I love the Perfect Stick and use it because of your recommendation, but I got quite a bit of mocking for needing it. Do you get that feedback? I just can't just distance well. I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I get mocked on the channel for using that. And for those of you who don't know what this is, the Perfect Stick is it's a fiberglass stick with a magnet on the end and a plate little disc on the other end. It's whatever length you want it to be. Mine's 16 inches long. You stick it to the bar of your chainsaw, and then basically between your cutting chain and the disc, you have 16 inches. You can get them 18 inches as well, but 16 inches. When you have a long log to cut up your firewood rounds, you take your chain and you just nick the tree trunk, the bark, the log. You nick it, and then you move the chainsaw down, and the disc lines up with the mark you just made. Then you make another mark, and then you continue to move down, and you have your wood is exactly 16 inches long that way because you're using this as a reference. Now, definitely, the more and more you cut up your firewood, you'll get good at visualizing what 16 or 18 inches is. And I'm not that great at it yet myself. What I tend to find is when I try to estimate, I underestimate, and I end up with 14-inch firewood. So I like this Perfect Stick measuring device because it gives me consistent width. I don't think it takes any more time. In fact, I think it's almost quicker because you zip right down and mark out your 16-inch logs, and as you cut them, you just cut one off and move right down. You're not thinking about anything. So I don't think it slows you down whatsoever. I know that Gord from GP Outdoors, he had that marker, that spray can marker that you'd run down the log and it would put a little squirt of paint every 16 or 18 inches, which I think is awesome too. But anyway, yeah, I like the Perfect Stick, and people have mocked me on the channel. It's almost like, I don't know, people see it as training wheels or something. I don't know. I like it because I like pretty precise firewood. It's just my brain likes things kind of precise. I just like things to be even. So I would say if you like it, keep using it because again, I don't see where it slows you down whatsoever. Uh, I very much like it. Anybody else have a comment on that? You can comment. Just be nice to us guys who like to use that Perfect Stick. Here's a question. Here's a question from Who's Your Handyman? Any tomatoes? Well, our tomatoes did not. We got a few. We got a lot of little cherry tomatoes, grape tomatoes, but the big ones, no, they got that bottom rot. And we read about that it's like lack of calcium, too much water, not enough water. I don't know, but they didn't work out. So I think we have to try something different next year. The corn was a bust. Beautiful corn stalks. I fertilized the corn. I watered the corn. Beautiful stalks that are 6 feet, 7 feet tall. These little wimpy, skinny ears with a few kernels here and there. Not good. I took a little bite and it tasted all right, but it just didn't develop. And we did like 6 rows of corn so it would cross pollinate. I have not had good luck growing sweet corn. And I think next year, I think I need to fertilize more, maybe get some manure, natural fertilizer in that soil, but not good. But we just ate watermelon last night and today that we grew in the garden, and it's beautiful. It was more basketball shaped than football shaped, but it was about 12 inches in diameter. Perfect. It was so good. So really happy with the watermelon. Did well with that. And again, the little cherry tomatoes were great for sure. All right, I'm going to continue to scroll because I'm getting behind on these comments. Right. And again, I'm looking for questions from people. Here's Ross with a question about the garage coming along. I guess, Ross, are you talking about the barn where we put the garage door? That's done. I mean, the door is done, but I need to clean out the inside and organize, which is the bane of my existence. It's just stuff, and we've purged. I had the yard sale. We've sold things. We got rid of so much when we moved, but there's still stuff, and it's like I don't know what to do with this stuff. But it's anyway, it's just kind of tough. And I've compared my life for years now. I've used this analogy. Perhaps you've heard me talk about this before, but this is how I feel about my life and about stuff in my life. Like I have things that are, it's like, it's too good to throw away. It's not good enough to sell. Nobody really wants it if I give it away. So what do you do with it? It's like, I feel bad throwing it away. I don't know what to do with it. So, and sometimes we do just throw it away and don't look back. But anyway, here's how I picture my life with this stuff. Those little square tile puzzles that we had when we were kids, and they're all like little tiles that you slide and to make a picture. And in order to make the picture, you've got to slide this tile up and this tile over and then this tile down. Like it's very difficult to make the picture. And I feel like that's my life of with all the stuff. Like I want to get this shop in order, but in order to do this, I need to move this stuff over here. It's not going to be there when it's done, but for now I need to move over there. And then this I need to move over here. And then I can move this here. And then I can move that over there before I can move this here. And think about that little tile puzzle. That is me trying to get my life in order. It's a good analogy. You know it's a good analogy. So who oh, Richard Klump. I was gonna say, who's Klump? Everybody's saying, yo, Klump. All right. Yes, that was a good truck. I'm all the way back talking about comments with the truck. Yep. So yeah, I think I mentioned this. Again, I'm behind on the comments. That was 15 minutes ago. But I paid for the truck in 1987, fully loaded. I think it was $15,500 for this truck. Can you believe that? And as I mentioned in the video, I think I paid 10 or 12% interest on that truck because that was the rates in the 80s. We can't believe that cars are now, you're getting 8% interest. You have to pay 8% interest on your car loans because we were spoiled for so many years. But, in the 80s, we were paying 10, 12%. I think I wasn't really good with, I'm still not good with math, but like with numbers, I swear I put $7,000 down on that truck, which would mean I only financed after taxes, after sales tax and everything. I think I financed about $10,000, which isn't much. $10,000 over 4 years, and my payment was $287.34. Now, that's a lot, right? Look at this. If I did $10,000 over 4 years with 0%, that'd be 48 months. Hey Siri, what's 10,000 divided by 48?
10,000 divided by 48 is approximately 208.3333.
$208. So whatever the interest was made it $287.34 was the payment on that truck. Okay. But yeah. And I was dumb. I think I talked about this in the video. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I just talked about it and never actually edited it in. But I was so I can't beat myself up about this, but I was making money. I was making good money when I was 19 years old. I was making $8.79 per hour. When I was in high school, my last year, I was working part-time for this machine shop. So I went to high school, and then after school, I went to work at this machine shop, and I was being paid $4 an hour. which was awesome because I think the minimum wage at the time was $3.35 an hour. So a lot of my friends were making $3.35 an hour at the ice cream shop. I was making $4 an hour at the machine shop. And the day after I graduated, I didn't even take a day off. I worked, the day I graduated, I went to work the very next day, starting full time, 7 a.m. My pay more than doubled from $4 an hour to $8.79 an hour, which in 1987, I might have been one of the highest paid kids in high school, graduates, because everybody else was, working or going off to college. But that was a pretty good job. It was a good job, and I had money in my pocket. And anyway, so I had a checkbook because back then you tore out the little coupons to pay for your car payments, and I had that booklet of 48 payments. And you tear out the coupon, write your check, put it in. I was so dumb. I would tear out like 4 coupons, 287.34 times 4, and I'd write the check for that amount of those 4 payments and put them in the envelope. And I'd be like, man, I don't have to make payments for another 4 months. Like, if I would have just kept making payments, I probably could have paid the truck off in 2 years. But I liked not making payments. So I was like, I'll just pay in advance and then not make payments for 3 months. Oh, well. I have no regrets. We learn from our young, and I wouldn't call it young stupidity. It's just getting to know the world, right? Yep. So Dave Martin had a 79 Chevy half-ton 4x4. I like the 79s also, very much so. The 79s, it's funny how you can know vehicles. Like, I don't know vehicles anymore. I've got this 2021 F-150, and now I can kind of pick out, because mine 2021 F-150 is the latest version body style, and they haven't changed that much. So now I kind of know what a 21 looks like, 21 to 24. But the previous ones, I can't really tell too much. But back then, like, I knew a 79 Chevy from a 78 Chevy, from an 80 Chevy. I knew the difference. I knew that a 1979 Chevy had the 2 square. Were they square or were they round? I think they were still round, but they had chrome under the headlights and around the blinkers. The 78s, the headlights were cut out and the blinkers were just in the sheet metal. So 79s, the chrome came down and it was more full. And then in 80, they went to the square headlights on the Chevys. I'm pretty sure about that. But you used to know those kind of things. You used to know. I mean, I can't just today. You can't tell a car from a car hardly. You just can't tell what's what. I mean, you can tell a Ford from a Ram from a Chevy, but not much. I'll tell you what, I've seen some Toyota Tundras driving around thinking it was a Silverado. And then you get up close and it's like, no, it's not even a Silverado, it's a Tundra. So they I don't know, they don't have the different looks that they used to. So, all right, we're talking about Smoking the Bandit, dream cars. Hello, Pierre from Maine. Good to see you. I'll look now for more comments, more questions. Do Pats come in John Deere green? I don't know. I don't know if they have color. They probably do. You have to look at their website, which is patsquickhitches, plural.com, patsquickhitches.com, and check them out. If you do buy a Pat system, put in the notes section that you saw it on MCG on a video. I don't get anything for that, but it's nice for them to know that we helped bring some customers their way. I've had so many people contact me, even today, saying that they bought the B2601 Kubota because they saw it on the channel. So I have sold, we together, you and me, by watching these videos and sharing them, we have sold several Kubota B2601 tractors. So if Kubota's watching, which I think they're not, you should know you got a lot of sales from this nice group of people here. Steve's asking a question about info on the shims that you put in your tractor. You're talking about the hydraulic pressure shims, right? And I bought those from beexpanded.com. I bought the shim kit along with the gauge, the pressure gauge for the hydraulic pressure, so I could first evaluate what the pressure was and then put in the right shims to increase the hydraulic pressure. First of all, I wrongfully assumed that my tractor was under spec. I assumed that maybe the spring had gotten weaker and that it was not up to factory specifications, or that perhaps the factory had dialed it down some. But the beauty of that gauge, and you have to ask for the specific gauge for your system. Like mine was the Quick Connect system. But anyway, the gauge was like right at, I think, 900 psi, which is right where it's supposed to be. So it was right on factory spec. And that was disappointing to me because I was hoping to find it to be way under so that when I brought it up, it would make a big difference. It was right at factory spec. I increased it by about 200 psi, I think. So I think I went from 900 to 1100. I could have gone higher, but I was kind of afraid. I also didn't know how much of a difference that would make. I thought going from 900 to 1100 would make a difference, and yeah, it made a difference, but not much, not much. But I don't want to overdo it because these tractors are designed and engineered for that specific lift capacity. If you increase that lift capacity from 900, maybe I'm getting that wrong because I think it's 900 pounds is the lift capacity. If you double that, well, now you're putting excess pressure on the loader frame assembly. It's not designed for that. You're going to overdo it. You bend something, break something. So I didn't want to overdo it. I'm happy that I confirmed that my loader was within spec, and then I bumped it up above spec just a little because I thought that'd be safe enough. So it worked. It gave me peace of mind. But the fact is, the tractor still has less lift capacity than I need at this point in my life. It was fine up until this point, but now that I'm doing more firewood, I can't pick up a full firewood tote. I can't pick up 3/4 firewood tote. So unless it's dry. So yeah, I definitely, I would recommend getting the kit so you can test to make sure you're within spec. I would caution though, going far over spec. That's just my opinion. But am I happy with the kit? Yes. Am I happy with the tractor? Yes. Am I happy with the lift capacity? No, but that's not anybody's fault. That's what the tractor is designed for, and it's what I bought, and it's what it does. So, yeah. What I will say is some of these other tractors, like the TYM, I think Mahindra, LS, I think those guys out the door, maybe even I think those guys out the door are exceeding John Deere and Kubota with lift capacity, maybe even Summit. I did not research lift capacity when I bought the tractor because I just looked at the size tractor and thought that looks like a good size. That's what I need. I trust it'll have the capacity to do what I need it to do. I didn't really shop around much. I kind of locally we only had a Kubota dealer and a John Deere dealer. The John Deere I didn't think was worth the extra money. It was I forget how much more for the comparable John Deere, and I didn't really nail down a price, but I did the build online and all, and it was higher. It was more expensive. John Deere's are more expensive, and that's just how it goes. And maybe they're worth it. I don't know, but I didn't want to spend that. So and I kind of always wanted a Kubota, so it was kind of inside me anyway. So I went with that. didn't really do my research as well as I could. I think today, knowing what I know, I would look at different tractors, different frame size, horsepower. I kind of looked at, and I knew that I wanted to be under the horsepower needed for emissions. Although now I think it doesn't even matter. That they're designed to work with that. Um, but I would look at lift capacities for now. And PTO horsepower, I'm underpowered at the PTO for the wood chipper by 1 horsepower. I mean, the minimum recommended for my wood chipper is 20 horsepower at the PTO. Mine's 19. So I'm technically underpowered for that, although it handles it okay. I've got the Bombylite brush mulcher that we're going to be introducing on the channel soon. I've tested it a few times. It works, but I think I'm slightly underpowered for that too. I think some of the stuff is just made for bigger equipment. Again, nobody's fault. It's just that's what I have. If I had a BX, I'd be even, not in worse shape, but I'd have even less capacity. Again, that's not the equipment's fault. That's just what I bought or what I would have. So yeah. All right. More comments. More comments. More questions. Yeah, nice door, Ross. I see David talking. Yeah, Ross did quite a project replacing his door on his pig pen because the pigs got spooked and knocked the door off the barn, and he built a fantastic sliding barn door. So check out that video. Okay. Here's a question. I like these questions, and we'll do the sticker giveaway here in just a few minutes too, before we wrap up. A question from Roy Miller: do you like the box blade better than the land plane? Again, Roy, these questions are tough, you guys. It's like the Pats versus the quick hitch. They're both great. They both serve a different purpose, and the box blade is different than the land plane. So it really depends on your use. If you're going to be grooming dirt roads or driveways, then I say get the land plane. If you're going to be moving dirt, like grading dirt, which is a project I did a few videos ago, about 4 or 5 videos ago, and that was the first time I ever really used the box blade as it was intended, and I really liked it a lot. I dropped the scarifiers down, the rippers. I dropped them down so they would tear up the dirt, and uh, they did a fantastic job because they tore up the dirt, and then the box blade took that dirt and it moved it, and then I was able to move the dirt into a pile, and then use my front end loader to move the dirt. Where a land plane is not really made to move dirt. A land plane shaves off the high spots. It's a plane, as I explained in my video, like a wood plane. The land plane, as you go across, it shaves off the high spots. It fills in the low spots, makes a beautiful finish on a road or a driveway or a surface that you are preparing, maybe for a building or something. But you're not going to move dirt with the land plane. You're just gonna spread it out evenly. So two very different purposes. So I can't say I like one better than the other. In my situation, I would probably use the land plane more than the box blade because I have this long stone driveway that we maintain. So, and I really haven't had much of a use for the box blade besides that. So for my use, I'd probably use the land plane more than the box blade, but I can't say I like one better than the other because they have two very specific purposes. So that's something for you, Roy, to figure out what is your intended purpose. And then you can decide which implement or attachment you would like. Right? Okay. I've got to scroll down because we got a lot of comments here. There, Brother John, thank you so much. You are so kind, and you have been very generous and provided. John, on the video about the trailer tires, he gave me a super chat on the video itself, and as well as David did from Homestead Engineering. So you guys bought, you bought a tire for me for that trailer, and I really appreciate it. Your generosity is overwhelming, I must say. I want to say just stop though, because I don't know, makes me feel kind of funny. Makes me feel kind of like, embarrassed or something. But thank you. All right, let's go with another question or so. Thanks for the reminder to hit that like button. Yes, thumbs up. Bing. There we go. Thank you. Yeah, let me look at some questions here. Yep. No, who's your handyman? You're only looking at the number on YouTube. Overall, we've got over 70 watching right now. Is anybody watching on Instagram? I don't know. I don't know about that, but I keep trying the Instagram thing because I think that maybe somebody will watch over there. And I am trying to grow the Instagram and the TikTok following. Why? Because I guess because I can, and ultimately, TikTok can get monetized. I guess Instagram can too, but I feel like I'm miles away from that. TikTok, I've got 9,000 followers. You need 10,000 to get monetized, and like 100,000 minutes or hours watched, or something crazy like that. It's very difficult to grow an audience on TikTok and Instagram for me. But anyway, it's difficult to grow an audience there. But I'm doing it because until the government shuts it down, people use it, and I like putting fun content out on there. And it's another way to reach an audience. And if it monetizes the channel, it's another way to survive another day, right? That's what I say. That's what I always say. It's all about surviving another day. Yes. Okay, so question, is Ed buying a new tractor? It's not in the plans, Ross. Not right now, anyway. I'm going to get by with what we have. But I'm always thinking. And I sure would like a tractor with a backhoe next, which really brings the price up quite a bit too. Right. All right, let me just check for any other questions. Oh yeah, Chris at Adventure. You're driving on the wrong side of the road over there, right, Chris? Yep, I had that experience in Ireland, and it was not fun. I will tell you that. Yes, John would not hesitate to buy an LS or a TOIM, both solid machines and a lot of bang for your buck. I agree. They have really stepped it up, and I keep saying the big boys, especially Kubota and John Deere, I think they need to step up their game to compete with some of these tractors. Again, even the Summit tractor is a tractor you can buy at Home Depot or Tractor Supply. Comes with rear remotes, comes with a third function. A lot of things that we need. And, how's the quality? I don't know. Brad and Deb have one over there, Piney Grove. They seem to like it quite a bit. If it's good, it's good, right? If it's good, it's good. Yeah, good point there, Sabine River Valley. Your TYM, with much power comes much responsibility. That's true. So apparently these tractors, I guess you can overdo it and you could actually damage the machine. And maybe that's why Kubota and John Deere are being careful and limiting their capacities. I mean, I push it now with my machine. We all tend to make them lift whatever they'll do. But if you overdo it, you could break something, and you don't want to do that. David Martin has a question for the BX group. A lot of BXers out there, so please help David out. At about 13 to 1400 RPM, it takes about 13 or 1400 RPM to start lifting the loader or the rear implements. Is that normal or not? I'm not a BX owner, but I would say not. The loader should be lifting pretty well, even a little bit above idle. So if you've not maintained your tractor, I would first look at the oil filters for the hydraulic system and put some fresh filters on. That's just the first thing that comes to my mind. All right. You know what, David? The question here, will you bring little lamb? That's Irma Linda to visit her family someday. In the last video, I showed Irma's family where she came from. No, I don't think I will. Just because she's not really portable. I did take her, the neighbor has sheep. And Irma and Hachi and I were taking a walk in the woods one day, and we heard the sheep on the other side of the fence. So I thought, I wonder what Irma would do with actual sheep. So we walked up, opened the gate, and went into their pasture. And Irma and Hachi walked with me, and the sheep ran away. They wanted nothing to do with each other. I don't think that Irma would really connect with the other sheep at this point. I think she doesn't even know that she's a sheep. And that's not a sad thing because she hangs out with us and has a good time. So there's Joe the farmer. Good to see you, Joe. It is better to be late. Better late than never. Yes, better to be late than to be never, for sure. Good to see you, Joe. Joe did a video on this this new mini Jeep, which is actually bigger Jeep. That was pretty fun to watch. So check out Joe the farmer's channel. It's like a Tractor Supply sells these mini Jeeps, and I think Joe was saying they're kind of like more like a go-kart almost. But this new one that they came out with is substantial, and it's more like a side-by-side, but it looks like a Jeep. Jeep in the sense of, not copyrighted Jeep, but anyway, looks fun. Looks pretty fun. So looking forward to seeing more on that, Joe, for sure. And by the way, Joe, the farmer, has been he's been working with Tony's Tractor Adventures, and they are going live every Tuesday night. Joe's kind of become the co-host for Tony, and that's on Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern because they're in Central Time Zone. So Tuesday nights, if you love these live streams on Monday nights, well, guess what? On Tuesday night, you can go see Tony and Joe over on Tony's Tractor Adventures. I guess you can also watch from Joe the Farmer's channel because they share the feed. But that's Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So go enjoy their live stream as well. So, all right, let's do this sticker giveaway because our time, as always, is moving by so quickly. Here's what we're going to do. I'm admittedly behind the 8 ball on designing stuff. Now, I have been looking at Printful as a different option for printing the swag for the channel, T-shirts and things like that. I did print a new mug from there, and I ordered it for a sample so I could see what that's like. I may start offering swag over at Printful instead of Teespring, or both. But anyway, stickers. I still have some of these 25,000 subscriber celebratory stickers available, and of course we're at 50,000 now. So these are a classic, a relic, never to be printed again. Am I printing 50,000 subscriber stickers? I don't know. I didn't see they had these foil ones that I thought was kind of like the silver anniversary for 25. I didn't see any gold foil, so I don't know about that. But I would like to sit down and design something new and fresh and fun for y'all. But for now, we're going to give away these stickers because everybody loves the stickers. If you're new to the live stream, the way this works is I'm going to share a word or a phrase on the screen, and you're going to type that word or phrase in the live chat during the live show only. And this only applies to YouTube and Facebook. Instagram viewers, I'm sorry, I don't think it'll work for you. So YouTube or Facebook, when you see the word or the phrase, which is here, #rain, because we're having a lot of rain lately, #rain, type that in, and then and by the way, if you already won these stickers, why don't you not participate so somebody else has a chance to win? I know, Barb, you won last week, and then you felt bad because you had won before, and you never emailed me either, so that's okay. But anyway, I'm not the sticker police here. Just you can do what you will with that. So that's how it works. Just that simple. I'll give you an example here. Here's an example. Joe, #rain. You can do all uppercase, you can do lowercase, you can do a mix of uppercase and lowercase, but don't have any spaces, and make sure you do the hashtag. That's the way it works. So, rock and rattle retreat, #rain. Ray Bolden, #rain. Do it like that. Uh-oh, the music is ending. I think I talked a little longer. Normally I try and end the music. Oh, it's restarted. We're not going to have that. We can't have that. So, well, while this is playing out, let me just bring this up. Earl, my gosh, you missed a few weeks in the live. You had open heart surgery a couple of weeks ago, but you're back. Well, gosh, Earl, thank you for letting us know. And I'm glad that you're back and apparently doing well. That's a big deal. So, good to see you. And thanks for letting us know. And certainly there'll be continued prayers for continued healing for you. And I hope that all went well, and I hope that you're a new man after this. So thank you. Everybody, give it up for Earl for being here tonight. He's back. Okay. We're going to draw this. We're not going to wait for the song to end again. Right now, we're going to draw it. Let's do it. Who's the winner tonight? Who's the winner? You're a winner. Oh, it's Rock and Rattle Retreat, the very one that I put on the screen. How about that? What a fun coincidence. Congratulations, Rock and Rattle Retreat. You're the winner of tonight's sticker giveaway. Well, here's what you have to do, Rock and Rattle Retreat. You need to email me so I can mail these to you. And the way you do that is you type an email to this address, contactmcgtv@gmail.com. And I'll need your name and your mailing address, and I'll stick these in the mail to you. And thank you, Barb, for your offer to redraw from last week, but that's all right. We'll just move on. That's okay. It's all right if you already won, you don't want to win them again. It's all right. We'll do more in the future. But anyway, Rock and Rattle Retreat, congratulations. There's what you have to do. Just email me, name and mailing address, and I'll get these out to you. Awesome. I forgot how to get rid of that for a second. Awesome. Well, look, thanks for being here tonight. I hope that this was a good Monday night for you. It certainly was a good Monday night for me. And again, if you're affected by all this weather, I wish you well with that. Stay safe and dry. And Earl, continued healing. And everybody else out there, thanks again for watching all the videos that I've been putting out. It means the world to me. And of course, as always, we'll hopefully see you next week. Just have a great week. Thanks so much. And as always, I look forward to seeing you next time.